Now at 9, the city of Pittsburgh says it was the victim of a cyber attack over the weekend. Plus, the Joplin Public Library attracts more than bookworms as they install a pollinator garden. And the Joplin City Council discusses plans to bring a new theater to town.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Elise Noe. One man is dead from a weekend crash in southeast Kansas. It happened on K7 in Bourbon County earlier Saturday. Investigators say a pickup began rotating while negotiating a curve on the northbound ramp of U-69. The pickup left the road overturned and came to rest on its roof. The driver, 38-year-old Francisco Espinoza Perez of Texas, died at the scene. The city of Pittsburgh is recovering from a cyber attack on their servers over the weekend. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Pittsburgh city officials were notified at 3 a.m. on September 16th of a cyber attack.
We've taken a lot of steps in preparation for this, from cyber insurance to disaster recovery sites and protocols, but it hasn't happened to us yet, so we knew it was probably inevitable, but the idea now is to just mitigate the risk.
The city servers were victimized by ransomware. The cyber attackers stole encrypted data and demanded money from the city. Officials disconnected the servers so the ransomware wouldn't spread.
Our focus over the weekend was to make sure that operations just continued for the public. So I think we're in a pretty good place with regards to public safety, police and fire, water and sewer. All of those things will continue uninterrupted. Internally, we're doing a lot of stuff on paper right now because we've shut everything down on purpose to eliminate or to mitigate the risk.
But I don't have any way to check it because our system is down.
The cyber attack shut down computer servers, phone systems, and more. However, due to off-site storing, city officials say do not worry about the attack compromising your information.
There's only so much information we have on any of our customers. Basically, all that stuff is stored off-site with regards to credit cards and things like that. So I don't think anybody that lives in Pittsburgh or does business with the city should feel that there's any threat to them personally.
It's not just local government and businesses that are at risk. You could be too. According to a cybersecurity and infrastructure agency, you can be proactive against future ransomware attacks by making an incident plan, backing up data, and updating contacts. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
City officials say systems should be back to normal next week. Chief Meteorologist Doug Ketty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Monday for us today. Plenty of sunshine. It was warm, almost kind of teetering on hot as our high temp up to 89 degrees. Started kind of cool, 53 during the morning hours, and then well above our average high, which is 81 for this time of the year. Outside right now, we're mainly sitting mid-70s, 73 in Neosho, 72 in Miami. Pittsburgh sitting at 74 degrees. We do have some clouds slowly starting to increase in our western counties as we are watching a weak little wave out across western Kansas into the Rockies, which is going to head toward us as we go through the overnight hours tonight and then as we go into Tuesday as well. Most of tonight's going to be dry, but a few light little showers starting to pop up late tonight into the morning hours lasting through tomorrow. So we'll break that down for you here in just a bit.
There's a new buzz around the Joplin Public Library. Officials today worked to install a new pollinator garden. It's designed to provide a space for butterflies, bees, and birds. The idea got started by 3 Missouri Southern students as part of their capstone project. Those students also raised the money to pay for the garden, which officials say will be a great addition to the library.
That the garden will, really inspire a lot of fun programs, a lot of events, that the community will be in our space learning about it. I think that having native plants that people haven't seen before will really inspire some conversation and a learning opportunity.
The new pollinator garden is on the library's west side. Missouri Southern says it saw an increase in new student enrollment for the second year in a row. The university says enrollment of new freshmen, transfer, and graduate students increased 6.5% this semester. This comes after last year saw a rise of 1.7% compared to 2021. Overall, Missouri Southern is reporting just over 4,100 students currently enrolled, which is a 1% drop compared to last year. The Missouri Department of Transportation plans a meeting to replace the Missouri Route 96 bridge over Missouri Route 171 west of Carthage, and the public is invited. The public is invited to the online public meeting on Monday, October 2nd, to learn more about plans for replacing the bridge. The new bridge will include new barrier walls, guardrails, and permanent striping. The meeting will be available for 2 weeks from Monday, October 2nd until Monday, October 16th, and can be accessed at mo.org/southwest. During the bridge replacement, Route 96 will be closed for up to 6 months. The Joplin City Council today got an update on plans to bring a new theater to town. A Nebraska-based company with a Joplin affiliate, Woodsonia Real Estate, is partnering with B&B Theaters for the project. They say it will include 8 screens, a restaurant and bar area, and an arcade. It'll be located on the intersection of 32nd Street and Hammonds Boulevard. The city has already set up TIF districts to fund it. Today they discussed the development plans.
The community, appears to be, hungry for a new product, nice, new reclining seats, just state of the art that you'd see in any major metropolitan area. And Joplin and the community just doesn't have that. So hopefully by delivering this product, it'll be well received, people will enjoy it.
The new theater is expected to be up and running by 2025. It will be part of a site that will include a new Menards store and multifamily housing, both of which are expected to open next year. The city of Miami approved a motion to continue on a lease agreement between the city and the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County for a section of parking lot behind the Coleman Theater. They plan to add a gymnasium on the back of their new teen center building downtown. However, there has been some pushback by members of the community with concerns that the gymnasium will take away downtown parking. The Boys and Girls Club has been working on the project for 23 months and said they've worked with an architect to redesign the parking lot and found that the redesign could add more parking spaces.
When we redesign the parking lot in its current state, it doesn't meet city code. And so if we were to design that parking lot to actually meet the city code for the width and the guidelines of parking spaces, we actually add an additional 2 parking spots.
The city will now move forward on creating a lease agreement with the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County. The Lafayette House can expect a brand new HVAC system in the near future thanks to a generous donation. Today, the Arvist Foundation presented a grant worth $7,500 to the Lafayette House for upgrades. The grant will help provide a much-needed replacement of the HVAC system for the daycare in the facility.
Especially during the summertime when kids are here all day long and we're going in and out the doors outside and coming in from the hot playground, and air conditioning is definitely going to be really beneficial. And at the end of the day at 3 o'clock when they come in from school, it's still pretty warm in here and we just want to come in and cool off.
The Lafayette House provides a safe sanctuary for mothers and their children who have suffered domestic violence. Coming up, no end in sight.
Auto workers hit the picket lines for a 4th day. I'm Grady Trimble in Wayne, Michigan. Coming up, what these strikes could mean for the U.S. economy.
A new study in the journal Pediatrics finds errors related to ADHD medication increased 300% over the last 2 decades in people under 20. 2/3 of exposures from those errors occurred among 6 to 12-year-olds and likely caused minimal or no health consequences. Researchers say the rise in mistakes is likely due to overall increase in prescriptions for ADHD drugs. Times can be tough for those living with addiction, but this month is a time to bring understanding to those struggling with substance abuse disorders. Charmel Odell has more.
There's a better life in recovery. It's not just possible, it's probable as long as you put yourself around the right people.
September is National Recovery Month, and local organizations are aiming to raise hope and awareness.
There's 23 million Americans in the United States in active recovery and 21.5 million with an active substance use disorder. So there's actually more people in recovery than who are using chaotically.
Julie Veal with the Springfield Greene County Health Department says an overdose can happen to anyone, which makes it vital for the community to be equipped with Narcan.
According to the 2022 Community Health Needs Assessment, more than 4% of the Springfield community has a substance use disorder.
This year, the Springfield Greene County Health Department launched its Revive app, which provides step-by-step instructions for those experiencing an overdose.
People use drugs, and recovery is possible for anybody that's trying to find it, but there's multiple pathways and people have to find which pathway works best for them.
David Stoker with Better Life in Recovery says his mission is to teach people in recovery how to have fun without going back to their unhealthy habits.
Recovery Month gives us a chance to celebrate people that have found their recovery and are living healthier lives.
Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later we'll hear from the Missouri Southern Lions after they got their second win of the season.
Well, it turned out to be a great Monday for us today. A little bit on the warm side. High temps right around 90 degrees, but we have plenty of sunshine, and at least we didn't have to deal with any humidity across the region. It looks good right now. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, temperatures right now 76 in Nevada, 69 in Monette, so a little bit cooler. 74 Welch, Chanute, sitting at 75. Let's go outside. 7th and Rangeline, currently at 76. Visibility is good. Southerly wind is light at about 5 to 10. But besides that, we look good. We have mostly clear skies. We are going to get some clouds in here as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. A weak wave out to the west. You can see it backing through the central parts of the Rockies will actually start to affect us late tonight and then through the daytime hours tomorrow, also tomorrow night. And then right behind it, we have another wave, which will give us additional rain chances Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So at least we got chances as we go through the next few days. All right, tonight we look pretty good, but you can see a few showers in the morning, and then our chances really go up tomorrow night, and then we'll start to taper as we get into Wednesday morning. So let's go through time. Clouds increase tonight. Spotty shower or two, mainly on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. But those showers start to pick up a bit once we get into the noon hour. You can really see mainly on the Kansas, Oklahoma side, no big thunderstorms by any means. And then scattered light showers work through as we go through the afternoon. So a lot of clouds and all this may keep our temperatures down just a little bit. And then as we get into tomorrow evening, some thunderstorms back through northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Showers and a few thunderstorms rolling through tomorrow night, lasting into Wednesday morning, and then we'll start to rotate out of here once we get into the afternoon hours on Wednesday. So at least we're going to get some rain into the region. Also, our temperatures are going to cool down just a little bit. All right, rainfall amounts. We just got to really see where the band's set up. It looks like the heaviest through Oklahoma. But some areas, a lot of areas are going to pick up a ½ an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and maybe some isolated inch amounts, especially in our southern counties. So something we want to watch. All right, 69 to start, 80 by noon, 83, high temp of 85. I may back this down to 83 or 82 just because of how thick the clouds are going to be tomorrow. So we're going to watch that. All right, next system behind it starts to rotate out as we head toward the weekend. So rain chances right back in by the time Friday and Saturday roll around. 85 tomorrow. Probably going to lower that. 77 on Wednesday, 84 on Thursday, 80 Friday, 83 Saturday. But rain chances each and every day, and of course we really need the rain. And then we get a chance to dry out and cool down a little bit as we go into next week.
I'm ready for the rain. We need some.
We do.
Thanks, Doug. Armadillos are a pretty common sight in the Ozarks and across southwest Missouri, usually as highway casualties. The animals are most active from twilight through the early morning hours. They're also burrowers and make holes 15 feet long. They can be found in brush, around stumps, and in your yard, and can make a big mess in your garden or lawn. But they're also helpful.
Armadillos help control those garden pests such as Japanese beetles and other grubs that grow up into insects that can hurt our gardens and our farm crops.
If an armadillo is causing issues in your yard, you do have the choice to remove it. Consider live trapping and relocating them. Coming up, the latest in a high-profile investigation.
Hunter Biden is going on the offense, accusing 2 IRS agents of violating his privacy. I'm Matha Rivera in Washington with the latest details on the president's son's legal woes.
Retailers might scale back hiring seasonal workers this holiday season. A new report by Challenger Gray and Christmas says this holiday season, retailers in the U.S. are expected to hire the lowest number of seasonal workers in 15 years. The report shows businesses are planning to add 410,000 seasonal jobs. Starbucks to face a lawsuit claiming that several of its refresher fruit beverages don't actually contain fruit. In the class action, consumers complained the drinks in question advertise fruit in their names, but the main ingredients are really water, grape juice concentrate, and sugar. Starbucks tried to get the case dismissed, arguing the drinks' names describe their flavor instead of their ingredients. The judge dismissed the fraud claim, finding no proof Starbucks sought to defraud customers. Business owners at and around a longtime Springfield shopping center say the homelessness problem is out of control and impacting their businesses and the workers' safety, as Elizabeth Van Metre reports.
I believe this is probably the best shopping center in the state of Missouri at one time.
Joe Cooper, the owner of Cooper's Clippers, was among more than 20 business owners at a meeting today addressing homelessness at the plaza. He and others say the problem is the 24-hour businesses operating alongside theirs.
And I don't understand why the city is allowing gambling, and gambling is supposed to be illegal in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, those business owners are talking about places like this behind me. It says Big Win Arcade Games on it. There are several of these in the plaza. The business owners say that businesses like these keep real customers from coming to theirs.
We tried to speak with owners inside 2 different ones on the plaza. Neither were at today's meeting. Both declined on-camera interviews, but said they're doing nothing illegal. These businesses tout they have no chance gambling machines. But in June of 2021, Troop D with the Missouri State Highway Patrol coordinated multiple raids across Springfield, seizing such gambling machines from gas stations and internet cafes, including one in this plaza.
And also, we just installed this very, very serious fence.
Dings and Things is located behind this plaza. Operator Carl Mertz says they've had to put up security measures in place to protect his business and workers.
We keep having issues. I keep catching on camera prostitution, drug use, people going through trash, looking to steal stuff. A lot of people looking around, scoping the area that obviously shouldn't be here.
During the meeting, many female-run businesses shared they felt unsafe with the crowds the gambling businesses bring in. Sitting in on today's meeting is Springfield Mayor Pro Tem Matthew Simpson. He says that he's concerned that small businesses are dealing with this. He's taking what he heard today to council.
These are business owners who have invested in our community, who do great things for our community, and they deserve our community and our city's support.
Springfield police were patrolling the plaza today. Up next, why a jewelry company says wedding bells will be in the air more often coming up. Love is in the air, and so are proposals. Signet Jewelers, the largest jewelry company in the U.S., says a spike in engagements is coming. According to the company, which owns Zales, Jared, K Jewelers, Blue Nile, and Diamonds Direct, proposals happen about 3 or so years into dating. In total, the jeweler expects 2.5 million couples to get engaged next year. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. As the Justice Department investigates Hunter Biden for tax crimes, he's suing the IRS for invasion of privacy. Plus, the United Auto Workers strike enters its 4th day. We'll look at the latest negotiations. Hunter Biden is accusing the IRS of violating his rights as a taxpayer in a new lawsuit that marks the latest legal pushback in the years-long federal investigation against him. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
Days after being indicted on federal gun charges, Hunter Biden is fighting back.
He's suing the IRS, specifically accusing 2 agents of launching a smear campaign against him.
Hunter Biden is a private citizen, right? And he's not the president of the United States. He's never put his name on the ballot. And this speaks to that. The IRS, he feels as though, is doing him a disservice.
According to the lawsuit, agents Gary Shapley and Joseph Ziegler wrongfully shared his private tax information in press interviews and testimony before Congress. Shapley and Ziegler say the Justice Department gave the president's son preferential treatment in its tax case against him. Hunter's attorneys argue the 2 agents aren't protected by their so-called whistleblower status, adding a whistleblower is supposed to uncover government misconduct, not the details of that employee's opinion about the alleged wrongdoing of a private person. An attorney in Shapley's legal team is pushing back.
We definitely aren't going to be intimidated by a frivolous attempt like this, and we hope that other whistleblowers who might potentially be considering coming forward won't be intimidated either.
The lawsuit is threatening to bleed into the 2024 presidential election as Republicans look for any ties between the president and Hunter's business dealings. But the White House is denying any wrongdoing.
The first son could also face tax charges in California, where he lives, or in Washington, D.C., after a plea deal fell apart in August. In Washington, Mather Rivera, Fox News.
5 wrongfully detained Americans are on their way back to the U.S. following a high-stakes diplomatic exchange between the Biden administration and Iran. The Biden administration agreed to a deal in August, which will clear $6 billion in frozen Iranian oil funds and transfer the money from South Korea to Switzerland and then to a bank in Qatar. Officials insist there are guardrails on how the money can be used and won't be accessible to support terrorism or Iran's nuclear program. Ukraine's president will be in Washington later this week to meet with his American counterpart and top lawmakers. This comes as Congress debates President Biden's request for roughly $21 billion in additional aid to help Ukraine fight the war against Russia. Scott Pelley of 60 Minutes traveled to Kiev and spoke with Zelensky. He says his country is grateful for all the support so far, but that the world needs to remember Russia isn't just Ukraine's problem.
Look, if Ukraine falls, what will happen in 10 years? Just think about it. If the Russians reach Poland, what's next? A third world war? What will it take? Another 70 billion? I don't have an answer. The whole world has to decide whether we want to stop Putin or whether we want to start the beginning of a world war.
On the front lines, Ukraine says its forces regained control of 2 villages in the eastern part of the country over the weekend. Thousands of auto workers are striking for another day as negotiations continue with Stellantis, General Motors, and Ford. If the walkout continues, experts say there could be far-reaching economic consequences. Fox Business correspondent Grady Trimble has more.
Negotiators from the United Auto Workers and the big 3 automakers returning to the bargaining table Monday. It comes just days after the union rejected a 21% pay increase from Stellantis, calling the proposal a no-go. UAW leaders say in previous contract negotiations, members have taken too many concessions.
When we receive gains, people who don't even work for the big 3 are also going to receive gains. So what we're fighting for is our members, absolutely, but also for the entire working class.
The strike against Stellantis, General Motors, and Ford is now in its 4th day. Some 13,000 workers are hitting the picket lines, demanding a 40% wage hike, pension benefits, and a 4-day work week. The ongoing walkout forcing General Motors to consider laying off 2,000 employees at its Kansas plant, and more could follow.
I'm not worried because we're fighting for a cause, it's a purpose. It's time for the companies to start paying back to the workers.
With both sides still far apart, experts warn the continued walkouts could cost the U.S. economy billions of dollars. And with fewer vehicles coming off the production line, consumers could potentially pay more.
Do they order a car? If they do, how long will it take to get? What will the quality be? If you already own a car, what's the serviceability from the dealership?
The UAW says it's ready to ramp up the strikes if the 2 sides can't make a deal. In Wayne, Michigan, Grady Trimble, Fox Business.
Talks are resuming this week between the Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers. This after a month-long hiatus. WGA sent a message to members today confirming the meeting. The last time two groups met was in August, and nothing of substance came out of that meeting. Members of the WGA have been on strike for 140 days. They are asking for better wages, among a number of other demands. A bit later, we'll have some tips from medical experts about avoiding those painful shin splints.
Well, of course, a nice Monday for us today. Plenty of sunshine across the region. Kind of warm. Temperatures pressed 94 afternoon highs, but at least we didn't have to deal with the humidity across the region. Now we're going to have chances for rain starting to increase across the region. All right, temps right now mainly low to mid 70s. Most of us will drop back mid 60s for us tonight. 76 outside in Joplin. Visibility is good. Southerly winds light at about 5 to 10, but not much is going on for us right now. And we look fine. We do have a few little showers out across western Kansas down through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. But we do have a wave that is heading toward us. And what that's going to do is give us chances for rain, showers, and thunderstorms as we go into Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Then right behind it, we have another wave. That will give us chances for thunderstorms really Thursday into the first half of the weekend. So at least we have those rain chances for us this week. Tonight's pretty quiet. Rain chances start to increase, meaning on and off light showers through the morning, a little better shot in the afternoon. Best chances for rain roll in tomorrow night, and then those will start to push on out of here as we get into Wednesday. All right, let's go through time. We'll stop this early tomorrow morning. Hit and miss light showers. Most of you are going to be dry. As we go through the morning to the noon hour, you can see how the showers, even a few thunderstorms, increase, especially on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. As we go through the afternoon, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms continue. So this is about 4:30 in the afternoon. Then these increase as we go through tomorrow night, especially in our southern counties. We could pick up some heavy amounts of rain across northeastern Oklahoma, stretching back into northwestern Arkansas. Here's 6 a.m. on Wednesday, still bands of scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm not expecting anything too strong or severe, which is good news, but there is a severe threat just to our southwest down in central Oklahoma. Showers continue Wednesday morning, then most of this rotates out of here once we get into Wednesday afternoon. But at least we're going to get some rain across the region. Southern counties, you guys have the best bet to pick up at least something a little more substantial, heavier amounts of rain where a quarter, half an inch could fall. Everybody else will have to see where these bands set up, but at least a quarter to a half an inch is definitely likely across the region. On and off light showers for us tomorrow. High temp right around 82 degrees. And then as that system pulls out, as we head into the weekend, we'll get additional chances for rain, which is good. All right, 82 tomorrow, 77 on Wednesday, 84 on Thursday, 80 on Friday. On and off chances for rain throughout the week, 83 on Saturday, and then drying out a little bit cooler as we go into early next week.
Slowly getting to those fall temperatures that I'm looking forward to.
Trending down.
There we go. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, Pittsburgh State finds itself near the top of this week's Division II coaches poll. Plus, Missouri Southern football looks ahead to its next opponent this Saturday. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Missouri Southern football is back at home this Saturday after 2 straight weeks of winning on the road. Although the Lions have begun to pick up steam these past couple weeks, they said today they don't think about a contest at all once it's finished.
Every week, Coach puts up a PowerPoint when we get back on Sunday, and he talks about, he scratches out the date of the previous week, and the only date showing is the next week, and it says biggest game of the year in quotation. So as far as a team standpoint, we come in every week ready to go, like it's the Super Bowl, like it's the MIAA championship game. It doesn't matter. we're going to come and perform, no matter the opponent.
These guys have a high motor. We rotate quite a few guys so we can keep guys fresh. And so they're continuing to get better. I mean, we're only 3 games in, and I anticipate us continuing to get better week in and week out, and that's the goal.
Lions' next opponent is Northeastern State, who comes in to Saturday at 0-3. Coach Bradley says that's a deceiving 0-3, given that they've played 2 of the best teams in the conference in Fort Hays State and Emporia State. Now, another week brings us another edition of the Division II Coaches Poll. Top 10 is on your screen right now. Pitt State holding steady at number 3. Still doesn't receive any first place votes, though, after winning 38-37 on the road at UCM this past weekend. As we show you all the MIAA representation in that poll, you can see that game boosts the Mules up to number 25 even after a loss. Emporia State goes up to 11. It faces both Southern and PSU later this fall. Northwest Missouri out of the top 25 after a loss to Fort Hays State. Missouri Western receives a couple votes after they've started 2-1. Speaking of the MIAA, the conference announces Colby Katzis as the Offensive Player of the Week after a 9-catch, 200 receiving yard day in the win against UCM. He made it into the end zone once and ranks 3rd in the conference in receptions and receiving yards per game. In NFL news, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes agree to a contract restructuring, which makes him the highest NFL paid player from 2023 to 2026. He's guaranteed $210 million in that time, and Mahomes' extension with the Chiefs runs through 2031. The two sides agreed to revisit that contract again in 2026. Entering today, he was the 8th highest paid player in the league. Now he's number 1. And there are fewer than 15 Royals games left in 2023, which has been forgettable. This afternoon, Kansas City begins its penultimate home series of the season. Royals and Guardians picked things up in the 3rd inning, Cleveland winning 2-0 until Michael Garcia hits one off the glove of Cal Quantrill. He chases it down, makes the barehanded flip to first, but able to recover as you take a look at the replay. Guardians still holding that 2-0 lead in the 4th inning. Up 2-1, Gabriel Arias hits one deep off Brady Singer. That's gone. Guardians lead 3-1. This one looks like it's going to script. Casey down 4-1 until Nelson Velasquez takes Quantrill deep for a homer. His 14th of the year later in the game, so lead cut to 4-2. We go ahead to the 8th. Royals down 4-3. Bases loaded. Drew Waters at the plate. He flares one down the line and fair. That's a double. 2 runs are going to score. Royals take the lead. Gatorade shower later on for Waters as the Royals go on to win 6-4. That's all for sports. We're back with more news after this.
It's leg pain caused by repetitive stress on the shin bone and the tissues attaching muscles to it. Shin splints often happen in people who run or dance or anyone who switches up a training routine. The condition can also lead to other injuries if not treated properly. Mandy Gaither has more on how to help prevent shin splits in young athletes.
It's a common condition for athletes who overwork their lower legs. Shin splints are painful and need to be treated quickly.
You could potentially make it worse by trying to push through it.
Dr. Matthew Vosters with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says shin splints are preventable, and if you're returning to a sport after time off or trying to increase the intensity or vary your workout, take it slow.
We want to see gradual increases in that activity level, typically on the range of 10 to 15%. Just to ensure that you're not pushing that too hard, too fast.
Other key prevention steps: strengthening and stretching your legs, running on soft surfaces like a track or trail rather than cement, taking rest days to give your legs a break, and wearing proper footwear, replacing shoes every 350 to 500 miles. The footwear should have padding and good arch support. If you have flat feet, Voster says to make sure you wear insoles.
It kind of decreases that impact that eventually drives developing shin splints.
If you experience pain that becomes more localized and doesn't go away, it may be time to seek professional treatment.
If you are putting yourself in a situation where it's just getting progressively worse, and that would really be like a big flag to come and see a doctor.
Coming up, we'll check out your new home entertainment options this week, including a live-action Disney classic. A Disney princess, 2 apocalypse survivors, and a Grammy-winning artist are among the new digital, DVD, and music releases available to add to your home library. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin runs down the list of what's new in home entertainment.
Topping the list of what's new in home entertainment, Disney's live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, starring Halle Bailey as Ariel and Melissa McCarthy as the villainous Ursula.
How many times did you go to prison?
More than I care to remember.
Brian Cox and Kate Beckinsale star in the family drama Prisoner's Daughter. Cox plays a father struggling to reconnect with his estranged daughter and grandchild after serving a 12-year prison term.
I'm gonna find a way to keep us alive.
Sterling K. Brown and Mark Duplass play apocalypse survivors living out their days in a dome in the sci-fi comedy Biosphere.
What a good story this is.
The romantic drama Past Lives centers on childhood sweethearts reconnecting 20 years later.
I don't know you. What do you want to know?
Don Johnson, Tyrese Gibson, and Lucas Till are part of a group of assassins facing off with a notorious human trafficking kingpin in The Collective.
Love contractually.
A documentary filmmaker chronicles her friend's arranged marriage in the London set rom-com What's Love Got to Do with It? The Exorcist celebrates its 50th anniversary with a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital release.
3 Rock responding. Grab your tools. Let's go.
Small screen favorites to own, Season 1 of the CBS action drama Fire Country. For music fans, pop superstar Kylie Minogue releases her new album, Tension. Grammy-winning artist Colby Calais goes country with new solo album along the way. And rapper Doja Cat drops her 4th record, Scarlet. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with video of a baby muskox at a zoo in Washington. Thanks for making us part of your night.